Hey there, this is the Heir of Carthage, bringing you a Napoleon Total War online commentary battle. And here comes my rocket barrage. So there's a nice fireworks show for you. And as you might imagine, I'm not barraging my own army, so my opponent is obviously playing as Great Britain. Let's take a look at our armies. First, let's take a look at my opponent since we're over here. I don't know his numbers, and I'm not going to try and count while on screen. But it looks like he has about 6 units of infantry, one of which is a Highland Foot, or 2 Highland Foot, sorry. And I was thinking he might have one other guard unit, but he doesn't. So he has 2 Highland Foot, and it looks like 5 units of foot. And he has, I think, 4 or 5 units of these rifles. And then his artillery is 2 pieces of 5-inch howitzer. And he's got 3 units of cavalry, light dragoons, and 2 units of regular dragoons, and his general is Major General Picton. I know I haven't zoomed up yet for any close-ups, but this is going to be a 2-part video, so we'll have plenty of time. There goes another outgoing rocket barrage from the troops of France. So let's take a look at my army. Right down here on the front line you can see that I have 4 units of chasseurs, or however you say that. And then I have 2 units of carbineers on each flank, which is heavy cavalry in this game rather than missile. And I have 2 units of chasseurs à cheval, I guess that's how you say that, I don't really know, which is missile cav. My general is Marshal Soul, or however you say it. I'm not good with French. Anyway, I've got, I think, 5 Fusiliers de line, and I have a Young Guard, and I think another elite unit that came with my Imperial Edition. I'm not sure the name of it. Anyway, here's my rocket troops. We can watch them in action if you want. I am barraging the enemy artillery with my rockets. I could go for his general, which does have a morale effect. Let's watch these guys ignite these rockets. This would be the fun job here. So rockets were really ineffective in Empire Total War, and they're slightly more effective in this game, it seems, because they have a better fire rate. And you might wonder why I'm bringing rockets, because I rarely use fixed artillery. And I'm using fixed artillery because a number of my opponents in this game have been campers, and by bringing a unit of fixed artillery, their camping is pretty much negated because I can outrange them. And I'm not saying that this opponent would have been a camper, but he did start out the game kind of just sitting still. It may just be because he's new to the game or any number of reasons. So basically, I'm fighting camping with camping. Seems kind of like an odd strategy, but it can work. Another way to fight camping, of course, is to be aggressive and take advantage of your enemy's mobility. And while my artillery show here seems quite impressive, it's not necessarily causing a whole ton of damage. And that's actually one of the purposes of rockets, is to almost scare your opponent into making foolish moves. In fact, I'll stay here for a second till the next barrage comes in, and give you a close idea of what it looks like when you're getting hammered. And you can imagine just by the devastating look of these rockets that it can cause opponents to make foolish moves. So here comes a howitzer shot and a rocket barrage. Let's watch. Yeah, so that looks pretty ugly when it comes in, and just because it looks so bad, it can definitely cause opponents to make mistakes. And so what I'm hoping to do is to outrange my opponent and cause him to make some poor moves towards my line of skirmishers. Let's take a look at how he's positioning his army. I'm assuming that my opponent's either new or using strategies that I'm not familiar with. His units are, they seem to be in a bit of disarray, but not really, I guess. He's got a noob wedge formed with stakes. I'm just making up a name. Formed with stakes, guarding his artillery, which isn't a bad idea. Because from here he has range on my men, and if he protects it, then it'll make it harder for me to take it out. And it looks like he right now has his army spread out wide for some enveloping maneuvers, and he's got some rifles up here hidden. And I'm not sure he knows what to do right now about the fact that I have him pretty badly outranged. But now that he's in range, I think he's going to start exchanging fire with me, and we'll see who gets the better of it. But again, the devastating appearance of my rocket attacks is going to drive my opponent to moving forward. And there I killed a couple more of his artillery crew. But anyway, this rocket barrage goes on for a long time, and although I'm sure you enjoy the nice new effects on Napoleon Total War, I'm going to stop recording and come back when some more decisive action starts to take place. Alright, it's just a few minutes later. You can see kind of an overhead view here, and you can also see the position of our armies on this map. Mine are the blue forces, and my opponents are the red forces. You can see just by the mini-map that my opponent's forces aren't real orderly at the moment, but you know, I don't want to bash the way anybody does things, because there are multiple ways to play a game right. So you can see here his cavalry is moving up through this wooded area, and he has massed all three of his units of cavalry to one side, and since I'm faced with no cavalry threat on my left flank, I'm going to mass my cavalry in answer. And remember, I have 2 units of missile cav and 2 units of heavy cav. He has 1 unit of missile cav and 2 units of heavy cav. So I do have slightly more cavalry than him, and I'm going to harass his heavy cavalry when I get the chance with my light cav. And my opponent, as I said, my rockets are driving him to desperation, which is what I wanted. You can see here one of his units is this 42nd Foot, the Black Watch. It's a cool unit there, and quite tough, I'm sure. And they are moving up, as well as some of his other infantry and light infantry, because they're getting sick of standing back and taking the rocket barrage. And on this flank, some of our skirmishers have begun firing, and my artillery crew...
Our men are running, sir!
Yep, right there. My artillery crew got shot out, and I think his skirmishers outranged mine. Anyway, let's hurry back to this other... Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Let's hurry back to the other side of the battlefield here, where some action is taking place. I rushed forward and harassed his light dragoons with my chasseurs à cheval, which is my missile cav, and I lured his dragoons into a charge, and here I meet them with my heavy cavalry. So here's my carbineers, however you say it, coming into melee combat with his heavy cav. And then you can see my light cavalry in the background is about to charge in as well. So I'm going to close the circle in this cavalry fight, which will give me an easy rout on the British cavalry. And like I said, the whole purpose in me bringing fixed long-range artillery was in order to lure my opponent into some foolish moves, and so far it's working. But you can't always expect your opponent to just take the bait. In this case, I was fortunate that my opponent did move forward. If not, it wouldn't have worried me too much. I just would have started moving my troops like I do in any normal battle. But yeah, here's this cavalry fight, and it's definitely going to swing to my favor. And let's check out what's going on elsewhere. Okay, right here, his Black Watch unit has come under some fire from my chasseurs here. Chasseurs, I don't know how you say that. I don't know French. Could be completely off. And seeing them coming in and not being in position, I'm going to take advantage of this with my cavalry by just doing a massive, well, never mind, I end up running away. I do a charge later. Sorry, I'm giving away the future. So let's take a run up my skirmish line. Here's my skirmishers. I brought these skirmishers with the French that have less accuracy but more men. And I don't know why I brought them. I just brought them. I don't know if they're better or not. But the French aren't the best skirmishing faction. They do not have any 125 ranged skirmishers. Out here on this side, this unit of Highland Foot is under attack from a unit of my chasseurs, and they are tearing into them pretty good. And Highland Foot is a good unit though, so they're also giving my guys a pretty good pummeling. But fighting at a distance with skirmishers with line infantry is just really not a good idea, because the skirmishers are pretty accurate. Now my skirmishers aren't overly accurate, that's why there's 90 of them in each unit, so it's possible that this Highland Foot is more accurate than my men. You can see my rocket barrage is still firing off. They continue to do so throughout the battle. And now my opponent is reinforcing with another unit of Highland Foot, but they're not positioned real well, and it's possible that he's going to start shooting his own men in the back here. So whenever you're using line infantry, make sure that they're not right behind each other, as that can cause unnecessary casualties on your own men. So it looks like he's doing a bit of positioning, and right now the skirmishing fight is pretty much running in my favor. Not without me taking quite a bit of damage, but it is going in my favor. So here I routed one unit of his Highland Watch, or Highland Foot, and I'm moving in a unit of my Fusilier of the line. Fusilier, I don't know how you say that. And I'm going to return fire on this unit of Highland Foot. But remember, Highland Foot, like I said, is a good unit. Probably better than my line infantry. So here I'll let you watch these nice effects that come on Napoleon Total War. Definitely an improvement over Empire.